Lalu yang satu adalah kami bukan Indonesia punya kesadaran yang berlimpah, ya. Kemudian juga ikan-ikan lokal dengan masyarakat. Pada hari ini kita makan bersama bersih gratis dengan seluruh anak-anak sekolah Indonesia.
On the same day, officials from Ambon Fishing Port also distributed tuna-based meals to public school students in Sirimau district. The choice of elementary school students as recipients was because they were deemed to be in a critical growth phase that requires balanced nutrition.
Khususnya kita akan awali dari anak-anak di tingkat SD, SMP. Karena kalau dari sejak anak-anak sudah diajar untuk rajin makan ikan atau gemar makan ikan, akan membentuk anak untuk dapat berpikir dan ilmunya akan bisa baik untuk anak-anak. Jadi hari ini memang program dari kementerian mendukung program pemerintah untuk pemberian makan gratis itu untuk anak sebanyak 1.000 orang. Nasi, sayur ada 2 menu sayur dan ikan. Ikannya semua ikan tuna.
The event was aimed at promoting awareness of the importance of fish to child nutrition and sustainable fishing practices. Today contributors reporting from Jakarta and Maluku.
Now, continuing the story on the Maritime Affairs and Fishery Ministry, this is something that I was just, learning from you, Paul. So it turns out confirmed plans to include the so-called fish meal to President Prabowo Subianto's flagship free meal program.
Yes, to that end, the ministry has finalized the construction of another plant.
The plant in Pekalongan is set to enter trial operations later this year. Currently, the ministry operates one plant to process the product, which is located in Indramayu. It could process up to 30 tons of fish-based protein within a month.
Now, the product has also continued to be introduced to kitchen sets up by National Nutrition Agency.
Kan itu ada sekian dapur. Nah, dapur nanti akan beli apa dan semuanya nanti ketua dapur yang tentukan. Ya, tapi kita dorong, kita promosikan dan kita pantau standarnya. Yang penting adalah para pengolah ini harus memiliki standar pengolahan, ya, dari segi kebersihan, pemilihan bahan baku, salinitas, dan produk apa yang dikenalkan. Itu yang kita awal. Gitu ya.
Now, from the education sector, the Merdeka curriculum has been welcomed by early childhood educators.
The Deputy Minister of Women Empowerment and Child Protection, Veronica Tan, has expressed hopes that this curriculum could promote more innovative teaching practices.
Today, as a training session on the curriculum for early childhood educators came to a close, the implementation of Merdeka curriculum in early childhood education sought to provide greater room for child development.
And she also encouraged more creativity among teachers as the Merdeka curriculum provides them considerable leeway in picking the most suitable teaching method and adapting to local context.
Bagaimana dengan ide-ide dari para guru itu mengambil tema apa, mau tema sapi, mau tema singkong, mau tema apa, di-create dengan bahan-bahan lingkungan yang ada sehingga tercapai kata-kata, bahasa, matematik atau sosial atau apapun yang mereka capai tetap sama tapi dengan inovasi-inovasi. Tentu yang seperti yang kurikulum Merdeka ini kurikulum 2 arah ya. Jadi bukan kurikulum yang top down lagi. Si guru-guru boleh punya ide kreatif tapi yang paling penting Pancasila, yang paling penting akhlak, yang paling penting nilai-nilai itu semua masuk di dalam value nilai kurikulum ini juga.
All right, so Indonesian citizens are set to hit the polls once again, this time for the upcoming regional elections. And candidates running for Jakarta's governor's seat gathered on Thursday for a public prayer event that was staged by the Jakarta police.
Now, the gathering sought to help promote peace at the polls and set an example to other regions, according to the police.
The Jakarta Police organized a prayer event to promote peace at the upcoming gubernatorial election at their headquarters on Thursday. The event was part of the effort to ease political tensions ahead of the polls.
Komitmen Polda Metro Jaya melaksanakan pengamanan kegiatan masyarakat dalam waktu dekat ini pilkada itu juga harus aman, damai, dan itu membutuhkan kerjasama kita semua dan berdoa bersama sehingga Kegiatan ini diharapkan mampu menyejukkan.
All three candidates and their running mates were present, along with provincial electoral chiefs, as well as the commander of Jaya Military Region and Jakarta Police Chief. During the event, the candidates agreed to ensure the election went peacefully and committed to accepting the results.
Jakarta adalah pusatnya Indonesia, sudah jadi pusat, segalanya harus jadi percontohan dan damai, kondusif, partisipasinya, mereka ke TPS, siapapun yang terpilih sudah ada di tangannya. Kita komitmen menghadapi pilkadanya harus kondusif, damai, menghormati aturan, siapa yang terpilih nanti kita doakan, jangan sampai ajang-ajang demokrasi ini menjadi ajang di mana proses kekuasaan untuk tujuan yang bukan tujuan yang terpenting apapun itu. Doa, jangan sampai perjuangan ini mengkhianati doa tadi. Jangan sampai perjuangan ini juga mengkhianati amanat pemerintahan rakyat, karena rakyat sudah terlalu lama menderita dan mereka tidak tahu kepada siapa mereka harus berikan.
Saya merasa sejak tanggal 28 Agustus sampai hari ini semuanya berjalan dengan baik, sampai sore langsung dengan baik. Tapi yang paling penting adalah pilihlah secara rasional siapapun yang bisa memberikan pelayanan terbaik bagi rakyat.
The election will take place on November the 27th. City contributor reporting from Jakarta.
And finally, Japan's ship for Southeast Asian and Japanese youth programs is resuming this year after a 7-year hiatus.
The Indonesian leg of the program kicked off Thursday with the arrival of a Nippon Maru in Tanjung Priok.
Japan's ship for Southeast Asian and Japanese youth program has resumed after a 7-year pause. The Indonesian leg of the program kicked off on Thursday with the arrival of Nippon Maru in Tanjung Priok. This year, there are 168 participants from Japan and ASEAN states as well as Timor-Leste. These include 15 Indonesians and one national leader aged between 16 to 30. Here, they will stay for 2 days and experience home life among Indonesians. Speaking on Thursday, Secretary to Youth Empowerment Deputy of the Youth and Sports Ministry Esa Sukmawijaya stated that Indonesia is the last leg of the program after Japan and Vietnam.
So during the program will be held in Indonesia, hopefully the participating youth will know more deeply about the culture of Indonesia and also visit to the government of Indonesia. You have to be aware that this evening, so the afternoon, will be the meeting with the Vice Minister of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. He's a legend actually, Pak Taufik Hidayat.
For his part, Program Administrator Shunsuke Fujimori said that the voyage began in Japan on November the 4th, then arrived in Vietnam on the 14th, and that the cut to only 2 countries was due to a limited schedule.
15 or 20 years ago, we used to, the Nippon Maru used to sail around 5 different countries or something, but due to the limited schedule, recently we are organizing this program within 30 days, but we used to sail more than 50 days or something. That's why we are obliged to select 2 or 3 countries within the schedule.
Nippon Maru will depart for Japan on November the 25th for more activities in Nara, Kochi, Kumamoto, Kita-Kyushu, and Hakodate. Arif Subakti and Oswald Nainggolan reporting for C Today.
Alrighty, folks, we're up for a short break, but we have, as per usual, Paul here to bring you some sport updates. So what do you have for us today, Paul?
Well, Robbie's going to love the news coming up because we have some basketball news from the NBA. Yes, the Warriors continue their hot streak, but speaking of hot streaks happening out east, yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers are still improving their record to 16-1 after losing to the Boston Celtics. We've also got some other news coming up from the rally races happening in Japan, as well as some badminton updates from the China Masters 2024. All that and more when we return here on the C Morning Show. Stay tuned. Your Friday morning sports update is coming up next.
What's happening now?
President Prabowo Subianto and Vice President Gibran Rakabuming Raka that took their oaths of office at the Parliament building earlier today.
Exclusive interviews and all the latest in entertainment.
We don't talk only about the money, but we talk about the timing.
Spice up your afternoon with a variety of up-to-date information.
Buenos Aires, Argentina, where Liam Payne passed away on Thursday.
Don't miss it, the 3-hour news show every day at 5 p.m.
And I'm starting my journey old style in this beautiful traditional Beluga sailboat. There's no wind to sail this time, Abea. Hello.
Hi. When I found these guys, it's like Noah's Ark back here.
Since I was young, I had an intense desire to discover the world around me.
This is my first time driving in South America.
That hasn't changed, just the level of adventure. Now, every journey has a purpose. And each time I venture out to explore new destinations around the globe.
Yeah. It's a biggie under there.
I am following my travel quest.
I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails.
Orang memanggil Raja Dangdut itu ya saya sendiri nggak tahu sejak kapan ya. Tapi kan semua itu yang menarik masyarakat.
Ya, maksudnya waktu aku workshop lagu itu aku ngerasa kayak ini relate banget sama aku. Jadi yaudah deh aku ambil.
At the age of 21, Leodra can be considered one of the brightest singers in the Indonesian music industry. Despite the fierce competition, Leodra stands out as one of the most prominent artists.
We have the latest global economy and business trends.
U.S. Federal Reserve on Thursday slashed interest rates by 25 basis points.
And astute analyses from experts on the current economic dynamics.
We see right here the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped to 159.
Tune in to See Today Business live at 12:30 p.m. every Monday to Thursday and at 1 p.m. on Fridays.
Welcome back. You're still with us here on the C Morning Show. It is 6:30 in the a.m. and time for your first Friday morning sports update. We begin with some basketball news from the NBA, where Andrew Wiggins scored 27 points. Stephen Curry added 23 points and 8 assists as the Golden State Warriors defeated the Atlanta Hawks 120-97 on Wednesday night. In addition to the two Golden State superstars, Trace Jackson Davis finished with 14 points and 11 rebounds, and Buddy Hield contributed 11 points off the bench. On the other end, Jalen Johnson led the Hawks with 15 points and 14 rebounds, and Trae Young also had a double-double of 12 points and 11 assists. Draymond Green, who had made multiple three-pointers in each of the past 5 games, this time went 0 for 4 from deep, but did have 9 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds for the Warriors. Green and Wiggins each had 2 blocked shots on the defensive end. Guard Brandon Podziemski left the game in the fourth quarter after getting hit in the face and did not return for the remainder of the game. Coach Steve Kerr said X-rays on Podziemski's nose, which he broke in a preseason game, came out negative. Now, though the Hawks had 6 players scoring double figures in this affair, none put up more than 15 points. The Warriors flexed their championship quality defense against the Hawks, and offensively, Golden State put forth a well-balanced attack from the top down on their way to now an 11-3 record. Talks of Curry going up against the Hawks All-Star Trae Young dominated headlines leading up to this game. Consistently viewed as one of the handful of players that could challenge Curry as being the most dominant three-point shooter in the NBA, the assist maestro Young was not the better man on this night. Curry and the Dubs' stout defense held Ice Trae to an inefficient 4 of 12 shooting from the floor and 1 of 6 shooting from distance for 12 points. It took Young until the third quarter to drill his first and only long ball from 31 feet out. He did manage to dish out 11 dimes, but he was pretty much rendered a non-factor on offense and took a blowout loss along with it. Meanwhile, Curry added 2 steals and 1 block on the defensive end to a solid scoring and outside shooting. The Warriors will get 1 day rest before traveling to Smoothie King Center to take on the New Orleans Pelicans on Friday. Golden State may catch a breather against a banged-up New Orleans squad with their entire Big Four and 2 key bench players all currently sidelined with injuries. And speaking of the New Orleans Pelicans, it was Ty Jerome who scored 27 points in the first half and finished with a career-high 29 as the Cleveland Cavaliers never trailed in a 128-100 win over the New Orleans Pelicans on Wednesday night. Jerome, starting in place of injured point guard Darius Garland, had 20 points in the second quarter and buried 7 three-pointers before the halftime break. Cleveland is now off to a best start in franchise history with a 16-1 league best record. George Niang added 20 points, and first-round pick Jalen Tyson had 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists in his first pro start for the Cavaliers. Meanwhile, Jarrett Allen added a double-double